under the vision of the Honorable Government, the way the economy has progressed in the country. Today we are very proud when we mention that India is the fastest growing economy in the world. And I'm sure there are many in this room who know about how in the past India's growth was given a particular term by the leading economies of the world. So a huge transformation has taken place from where we were and where we are.
As of now, there is no official paper or anything on VIKSIT Bharat. So this is really my view and approach to developed India, if I may call it.
Look at the world around us. Look at the US. I mean, we are 1 millimeter away from chaos. And that would have engulfed probably the whole world, right? It is going through enormous political and social churn.
You definitely believe that we have a good amount of momentum which is already present in the industry, and with whatever you said, we are probably quite confident that we are being very conservative in our futuristic outlook, and we can be very well confident that it can actually be better than what we are projecting. But having said that, a couple of things which we as an industry has always been thinking. One is obviously the sustained demand, and I think you clearly outlined on what will it take.
Number one, Okajima Business Center is our casting factory in Osaka. Manufactures engines, cylinder blocks, and cylinder heads, and transmission case for tractors.
Government of India is taking a lot of initiatives to create world-class infrastructure to reach the country to a level of a developed nation by 2047.
Duties are at the right level, but what we need to ensure is for the long-term growth of the industry, 100 billion what we're talking of, or even 25 billion by 2030 in sector. We need to have the right manufacturing ecosystem, not only for the OEM manufacturers, but even for the component suppliers, whether it's Volvo or others. Fair competition. So we see certain areas where this is not happening, both in terms of machines.
When you look at our real exports of total data, I think today close to 35% is actually of our production is getting exported. So we are not today little bit having that issue, which is even though FTAs are existing already, for example, between Korea and India, it has not affected the business significantly from that perspective, because there are other factors at play which are impacting the industry. So as an industry for construction equipment, we have been able to...
I think as an industry, we have to see what we can leverage. And today, as Dimitrov rightly said, we are today competitive, our products are at the right quality, the emission norms are moving up. Today probably is the time to leverage this FTA to grow more, get benefit of it and get into those markets.
With automotive, which if we can partner with ACMA, I think we would be anywhere there, because ACMA is a large exporter. And then the next is, if we leverage the existing supply chain, what we all have, to the fullest of its potential, because I would say it's still under leveraged. If we actually utilize that, then it can actually bring in some additional momentum. The last one is the tough one, which we will find out. Once we do this, then
so we are still not there in a lot of the country when it comes to the stature, which they expect us to be. And that is probably because we are not providing them the consistent quality on a day-to-day basis, right? That all comes back to the skilling and the quality of the component supplies which we have got. So while we have come a long way in the last few years' time when it comes to the quality of the component suppliers, but there is still, I think, an ecosystem which is quite missing, right?
It's little better than India. The reason being, our cost of production, apart from material cost, the conversion cost is very high. Like you mentioned about logistics, you talked about electricity costs, ease of doing business. There is a major portion coming out of that. So I think as a country, we really need to understand And how do we take care of these aspects? This Gati Shakti multimodal is talking about that, but how do we execute on the ground?
For CNH specifically, think of it this way, as of this morning, as of today, India is a region. So far, until yesterday, there were 4 regions: North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Middle East and Asia Pacific. And India was a sub-region within Asia Pacific. As of this morning, India has been recognized as a region itself and we've become the 5th region. Why? Because not only in terms of, let's say, the VIKSIT Bharat vision, but even the global supply chains, the global organizations are realizing that India has a huge value to offer.
A question on the culture, which is a very broad spectrum I can play. I think it's very important for any leadership in the construction equipment industry to kind of not to leave the localization of culture also. So there is a certain, even if you're multinational, there's a set of culture that we in India believe strongly, and especially with respect to the yesterday's subject of handling human resources. It's a very, very sensitive subject. And I think if you have to reach, whether it's 2030 or 2047, we can't neglect them. Without them, we are not.